everybody, Stampin' Georgia here, Georgia Jaguar. I'm excited that I'm finally going to show you how I made my paper succulent basket. I've already shown you how to put the succulents together, the paper succulents, using the succulent framelits, how to cut them, and I will share a little bit more detail about how I got my color combinations and how I put my flowers together, and then how I turn them into picks so that you can put them into your little arrangement easily. So come on, let's get started. So here's another closer look at my beautiful succulent garden. I just picked up my little tin at Hobby Lobby, and the Spanish moss and the florist foam, same place. But I'm going to share with you some of the other things. So to get started, you do need the framelits, the succulent garden, and I used several colors of cardstock. I have old olive, and my old olive succulent, I just cut one of all 6 of the sizes of the flower. Same thing with Sahara sand, one of each size, and also mint macaroon, or macaron, however you want to say it. Then I did one that is in Pool Party, and I actually added one more of the 4th size so that I could offset that and make it a little thicker for the smaller one. Same thing I did for the sweet sugar plum ones, the small ones. I used an extra one of the largest, so 3rd, 2nd, and 1st sizes for that. And then I made 2 sizes finished flowers for that, so I just used one of the smallest and then 2 of the second from the smallest for that, and then 5 of the little, I don't even know what you'd call them, dangling pieces, and those I did out of Pear Pizzazz. And then I'll just show you quick again. Here are my little sweet sugar plum. This one is out of Old Olive, Pool Party, excuse me, Sahara sand, and mint macaron. And I'll share with you as I'm sponging which color of ink I used on each of those. So other things that you will need is cut your sponges up so you can get like 6 of them out of each sponge. And I love using these little clips because it keeps me from getting quite so inky when I'm working with them. Whatever hand is holding, you may want to use a latex glove or a rubber glove to keep from getting, because you're holding them down on a piece of paper, you do end up getting a lot of ink on your fingers. This is just a look at my tin without anything in it. The florist foam, same thing. It actually came in a bigger brick and I cut it in half so I had enough to do 2. And you really just shove that down inside and then cover it with the Spanish moss. And then my paper succulents picks actually just hold it in place, so it makes it very, very easy to put together. And so one of the tools that is really helpful is to have the craft silicone mat, and that just keeps you from ending up with hot glue goo everywhere. And so I'm going to have that handy. I'm just going to lay that down because it doesn't want to stand up. And then other things that you will need is a bendable wire. You want a pretty sturdy one, and I cut it into lengths that were about 4 inches. I don't want a lot because it's just going to go down into the foam of my basket. You'll need needle nose pliers, or pliers that you can bend your wire with, and then you'll need your flowers, and then you'll want an assortment of coordinating circle punches. I used the 1-inch circle punch for the larger succulents and the 3/4 inch circle punch for the smaller ones, and that's going to conceal the back side of my picks. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I created. This is what my goal is to make a wire with a loop at the end, because that is what I'm actually going to hot glue to the back of my flower, and then I cover up that loop with one of my circle punches. And so I take my needle nose pliers, and you actually just grab close to the end and simply bend it in. There's a loop, and then I just grab the end of the loop and bend it so that it will have it straight up, and because I want this to be a flat surface to adhere my flour to. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue, put that over there, put that on the back of my flour, and take my circle and sandwich that hot glue right in there. That just kind of covers up the ugliness of the back. And that's really all there is to it. The small ones, same thing. I just filled this with hot glue. And what did I do with those picks? They're here somewhere. One of them has 3 of the little viney thingies on it. And one of them has 2. I just did an uneven number, and then I kind of put them together into my basket. And that's really how fast and simple this is to do. So just to give you some color combinations, this is mint macaron, and then I use mint macaron to sponge the center area of them, and then a little bit of the sweet sugar plum around the edges. You can see my water droplet, and those are created with by removing the white sticky back to the white perfect accents, and then I use a drop of the fine tip glue to hold it in place. So I just kind of spread those around. I use some of the little ones, some of the bigger ones, so you can see it's just kind of a fun little accent, adds a little interest and dimension. This one is Pool Party to begin with, and then I sponged it with Sahara sand ink just to give a little bit different color. You can really mix and match these any way you want to. So I've done 2 of the same size for my back layer on this little sweet sugar plum one, and then 1 of the next size and 1 of the smallest. You can really put your succulents together any way you want to. Anyway, that's how fast and easy it is. I hope you'll give this paper succulent basket a try.